Hello, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the maiden edition of our program, Agric Biotechnology and Food Security, which simply is the use of scientific techniques and principles to improve and modify plants and organisms. This is also a widely used technology in agriculture to improve growth and yields, increase resistance to pests and diseases, as well as enhance nutritional content. As the program unfolds on a weekly basis, we shall be dissecting all aspects of agric-biotech, from the significance of genetically modified crops, combat of pests and diseases, food emergency, to gene editing, regulatory frameworks, biotech and climate resilience, crop yield, and lots more. It's my responsibility to guide you as we delve into the intricacies of agric-biotech, a safe scientific concept that could change the agricultural landscape of Nigeria. Today, we shall be discussing the role of biotech in national food security. So join me on the long trip of fact-finding mission that seeks deliberate explanation by experts the concept of agricultural biotechnology, its implications, sustainability, strategies, and adoption of the technology by farmers. It's going to be an expose of vital information on the imperativeness of adopting agricultural biotechnology. I am Kyrian Umayo. Thanks for finding time to join me on this first edition of the program for the quarter. And for a start, we shall be hosting the Director General of the National Biotechnology Development Agency, NABDA, the man in charge of the research and development, promotion, coordination, and deployment of cutting-edge biotech processes and products. You will meet Professor Abdullahi Mustafa in just a moment. We are being joined on the program by the Director General of the National Biotechnology Development Agency, NABDA, in the person of Professor Abdullahi Mustafa. Professor Mustafa is a professor of bioinorganic chemistry. So you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Kirian.
All right, now the topic for us to discuss today is the role of biotechnology in enhancing national food security. Biotechnology happens to be one of the latest technologies in the world. Can we begin by having a definition of biotechnology, or rather, what is the concept of biotechnology?
Maybe I will explain it to general public so that they will understand more of what biotechnology means. Life means bio. Bio means life. And technology, everybody knows about technology, is an invention. Well, I've told you, so improving life. Agriculture means life because you produce food, and then you manage and then you improve the quality of the food that you consume, because if there is no food, there is no life. So the role of biotechnology in agriculture is very enormous. I'll just give you some simple example. If you're talking about the crop improvement. And crop improvements, there are many sections or sectors that you can take to improve the crop using biotechnology. For example, you have a climatic condition change, global warming and this change of climate, but as a result of global warming, has brought quite a lot of challenges to humankind. And these challenges that you see can be tackled using biotechnology. For example, if you talk about this climatic change, it brings about the drought. It brings about different kind of insect attack, and it bring about like excessive heat or excessive cold, and the time of rainfall in areas where they have seasonal rainfall also is affected. Either it can be prolonged or it can be shortened. If it is prolonged, you have flooding. If it is shortened, you have drought. So all these areas are climatic conditions that you can use biotechnology to mitigate these challenges. I'll give you an example. I'm telling you there are broad areas that are biotechnology. So I'm just trying to streamline one after another. I'll give you an example. For if you have maybe a crop that you plant. Mostly, if you take Nigeria in the northern part of the country, we normally have rainy season and dry season. And this rainy season and dry season, you can see that there is a specific time for the rainy season. Most especially, you can call it like 4 to maybe at times up to 5 months. If you have shorter time of rainfall, it means the seed is not going to produce grain. And if it did not produce grain, there is going to be hunger. And if there is hunger, there is a lot of crisis. So the best way to attack this or to mitigate this problem is by deploying mechanism into the seed system to make it qualitative and to make it withstand the issue of drought. So instead of maybe having 4 months, the quality of the seed that has been improved can withstand the drought, and it can produce grain within 3 months or 3 months some days, and which means you have circumvented the problem of drought using biotechnology. And also, in a simpler term, you can see a lot of problems that arose as a result of insect attack of the crop. At the same time, you use biotechnology to insert some technologies that the crop can withstand the insect attack. And this insect attack, when it attack, it can either even make the crop to have a stunted growth, or it can make the plant to have low quality seed. It can grain. I mean, it can make the plant not to have even grain at all, because the area where it can produce the grain has been eaten out by the insect. A lot of problems that can be caused by insects. So what you do is you use biotechnology to insert this system that you can now keep away the insect from attacking the crops. There are many areas, for example, that you can use to mitigate all those problems. If you take, for example, the excessive use of chemicals, this excessive use of chemicals happen as a result of insect attack. And if there is no insect attack, it means you are going to save a lot of cost as a result of that non-use of this insecticide, because insecticides cost a lot. So what I'm saying in essence, all these technology have advantage in one mitigating this by stopping these problems, and then two making the farmer having very easy access to his quality produce, and it can be sold anywhere without any problem, and then having more money because you are going to have more yield as a result of this practice that the farmer is going to deploy. And because when you insert the technology, you tell him this is how you conduct your farming system, and he follow it up to the standard level, and you see that the yield has increased tremendously. So you have more of produce, agricultural produce. And if you have more of agricultural produce, it means you have more money if it is cash crop. If it is edible crop, it means, I mean, it's crop that a farmer is using in his household, he has abundance, and there is not going to be hunger in that environment. There are a lot and a lot and a lot, but I'm just streamlining
yeah,
it.
exactly. As a matter of fact, you are the head of the National Agency for Biotechnology, and there are areas perhaps I would like you to go into, to of course disabuse the minds of many Nigerians who are skeptical about this technology?
Well, let me tell you something. As you've mentioned, a lot of people is difficult for them to accept changes, and change is inevitable. We are in a world where you have different kind of uh, transformation. For example, a lot of people were skeptical. Everybody was thinking that it's going to die by the millennium year 2000. Everybody was crying, "Oh, the world is going to come and end." This is speculation. It's not proven scientifically. So also during the COVID-19, a lot of people were saying this is whenever you are injected with this COVID-19 vaccine, you are going to die. You are going to have this. You are going to have that. They're even inserting chips into. You can't stop people from making this kind of thing. Every development that you see around the globe is coming with this kind of challenges. But with time, people tend to accept it. I'm telling you an example of the United States of America, because this is the most advanced country in the world in terms of science, technology, and innovation. They are using this technology, and then you are happy to go to America and buy cornflakes. You are happy to go to America to buy cheese. You are happy to go to America to buy different kinds of confectionaries to bring home, to bring to your children and say that this is from you. You understand? But not knowing the produce is made from biotechnology produce. I mean, the corn, for example, that is produced, 95 to 97% of corn that is produced in the United States is BT corn. It's biotechnology produce. And nothing is happening there. Nothing. It's just a speculation. And also, when you look at it, you have been eating it, and then nothing had happened to you. I'll go back to the vaccine of COVID-19 vaccine, and then a lot of people were saying that the moment you are injected, you are going to become this, you are going to become that, and then nothing happened. Exactly. Nothing. I took 3 shots, and then nothing happened. Yeah. No, I think it is the Pfizer that have the first shot, second shot, and then booster. So that's what I took. And you see, these are the examples of new technology that people are saying that no, but at the end of the day, they embrace it. Maybe there was no this COVID-19. Can you imagine how many people are going to die as a result of that COVID-19? So also, this technology has come to stay. This technology is a way forward. We have now moved into more advanced technology, which is genome editing. And genome editing is science, specific science, where you just go directly to the gene and then add, remove, or make some corrections so that this thing can easily fit into your result. No longer gambling that you know specifically this is the responsible for A, and then you don't want A. Oh, this is responsible for A, for example, and you want A into your produce. So you go specifically and target it and make sure you use it. We have a research here that we are trying to see how we can elongate the shelf life of tomato. This is a big problem in the country. A lot of perishable items are being destroyed. So we start with tomato because almost every household uses tomato. And if this tomato is being produced and then the farmers took it from their carrier, they wanted to transport it to market. If, for example, any mistake had happened, you have maybe a problem with your truck. 1, 2, 3 days, that tomato is gone. The farmer lose everything. So we look at this thing and we say, how can we elongate the shelf life so that a farmer can transport it despite the bad road, despite the weather conditions, despite the problem of the car, and then so that you can transport it to the market, maybe 7 days, 14 days, and you use this technology to provide this solution. So you can see it's just all encompassing. If people are saying that you're not going to use that technology, are they saying that you should just continue to allow farmers to waste their money? While advanced countries have moved forward, they have moved far. They are producing these kind of commodities using biotechnology, and then they are providing it for you people to buy. Yes. And then you buy, you eat, you are happy. And then what is produced in your country, you're thinking that it is...
Exactly, sir. It's not part of what we say in Nigeria, that in some cases, what works elsewhere doesn't work here. But as far as biotech is concerned and the related relating to agriculture, it is inevitable, as you rightly pointed out. But I'm going to ask you this. How would you advise the current administration in terms of adapting the technology, to be cascaded to a point where we begin to talk about bumper harvest, GT bumper harvest? Is it going to be a possibility through perhaps institutions under the Minister of Agriculture or the Ministry itself to say, look, we have a model now to begin to embark on BT, and we'll get some farmers from different zones of the country, perhaps 1,000 farmers, to embark on this across, the nation for us to begin to have a feel of this technology? Is it a possibility?
To be honest with you, let me tell you something. This government has fully embraced biotechnology because they know that it's government of intellectuals. They have already known the advantage of biotechnology. I have had in one or two occasions, I was opportune to hear that Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been talking about biotechnology. And I have had the privilege of interacting with the Minister of Budget and National Planning, and we have discussed extensively. And then he asked me to provide some requests or some proposals on how to deploy these BT crops that have been improved to see how it can be used as this government agenda that is improving the food security of our nation, and which we have done so. So just to tell you that the government has fully embraced this biotechnology, and we are very much glad that they have done that.
Let's go for a break. We'll be back very shortly. This is introducing a new TV series on agricultural biotechnology, one of the most complex and accurate scientific discoveries designed to provide sustainable food security for humanity. In the light of rapid population growth, AGRICBIOTECH must be understood, accepted, and embraced to realize its full potentialities. Nigerian agriculture is vulnerable to climate change with associated occurrences, reducing agricultural production across the nation. But Biotech offers new tools for increasing agricultural productivity and protection of food crops. And from farmers, testimonies abound on the benefits of genetically modified crops. In this TV series, we shall be dissecting issues surrounding AGRICBIOTECH with experts on its understanding, acceptability, and application, week in, week out. Join me, Kirian Umaya, on our show, AGRICBIOTECH and Food Security. Be my guest, Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. on NTA International. Brought to you by OFAB Nigeria under the auspices of NAFDA. Let me ask you this, with a very important question from an ordinary man's point of view, and that is to say, is there anything or any reason to entertain fear? Could there be a situation where one will have a misapplication of this technology and that could result to any ugly consequence? For instance, is there any misapplication that could occur, in the process that could lead to any danger of any sort?
This technology, before it is applied, there are some certain stages that has to be followed, safety stages from one stage to another. And we are being regulated by National Biosafety Management Agency. And this National Biosafety Management Agency is in the Ministry of Environment and is being guided. And this technology also is being monitored by World Health Organization. And if there is a problem, they could quickly raise alarm, which means if it has passed the stage of Nigeria, the World Health Organization could raise alarm. So what I'm telling you is that this technology is being followed from one point to another for safety to be applied. There is no cause for alarm in the application of this technology, because everything is being monitored by appropriate body that are saddled with responsibility of making sure everything goes very, very well in accordance with the rules and regulations that has been stipulated for the application of this technology. And that is why I'm telling you there is no cause for alarm for all this kind of fear.
Can an ordinary farmer who is basically illiterate, so to speak, apply GT crops in terms of farming GT crops?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, you don't need a sophistication before you do that. Just tell you that this is the crop, and then what you need to do. For example, you are used to. For example, I'll give you an example of BT cotton, BT cowpea. Yes, the farmers are used to spreading like 7 to 8 times of chemicals every year, every season. I mean, so we tell you no, you can only use probably two if need arise. So if you use two, so you are already used to that, and then the way you plant is just normal planting. There is no any sophistication. So it's just a normal application, normal practice. It's in the case of optimum, we'll tell you that okay, you plant this crop because it is drought resistant. Don't plant it early in the year. You allow some time because it will mature within so days. So you calculate, you know, the farmer already know how many days is normally his rainy season in his area. And that is what he's going to use to calculate when to plant that seed.
Well, I have been speaking with the Director General of the National Biotechnology Development Agency, Professor Ablahi Mustafa. So at this point, we're going to call it a day, and thank you immensely for offering us your time for these explanations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kirian.
Just recently, the new Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Nnaji, visited the National Biotechnology Development Agency to familiarize himself with the programs and activities of the biological agency. He was on a guided tour of some of the experimental farms, BT farms that is. The newly developed Teller maize was planted to demonstrate the efficacy of the technology. Director of Agricultural Biotechnology at NABDA, Dr. Mrs. Rose Gidado, explained the major differences between BT maize and the organic species. Evident in her explanation is the visible difference between the two types in terms of pests and disease resistance and yield. There was also cowpea demonstration farms where BT cowpea was planted. In a roundtable conversation that followed, the Director General of NABDA, Professor Ablahi Mustafa, told the Minister that NABDA has the capacity to champion the cause of biotech in Nigeria, not just in agriculture, but other areas including health, industry, vaccine production, etc. The Minister commended the management and staff of NABDA for their consistency in evolving new technologies needed for Nigeria to grow in various spheres of technological advancement.
Our mission is also crucial in driving food security in Nigeria, directly impacting on countries' ability to produce and provide sufficient, safe, and nutritious food for our growing population. Therefore, I am here to see for myself the giant strides of the agency in cutting-edge biotechnology, which is a strong and vibrant tool of the 21st century. Initially, I planned to visit only the demonstration site of an improved maize variety and that of improved pod borer-resistant beans. However, after a second thought, I decided to make it an all-inclusive visit. I consider it also a study visit because I am here to learn and experience new things.
Now I say thank you for sharing your time with us on Agric Biotech and Food Security Program, a technology with its ubiquitous nature advancing rapidly, and agrobiotech has been proven to be a dependable approach to providing agricultural solutions from seed development, planting and nursing to harvest and preservation of crops. It's complex and very vital to national food security. GMOs, a step ahead. I'll see you again next week. Thank you for watching. I am Kirian Umayo.